Hi guys, my name is Rex with Old Guys and New Guitars, and we are still in Whitefish, Montana up in the cool weather. But we'll be heading back this week, taking our time kind of meandering back to Phoenix into the heat. On this week's episode, we've got Kerry Jackson addressing some of the comments that we got in the first couple of videos. But before we get started with that, I thought I would share with you a little follow-up to the last episode where I talked about travel rigs. And what you're seeing here kind of in front of me is one of the configurations that I talked about. At my feet is a Voice Live 3 Extreme pedal, and that pedal can be used to take in the guitar, add guitar effects, take in vocals, add reverb and other effects to the vocal, add in harmonies, and we're also able to record into it. So it's a great box to kind of work through when you're developing and working on new songs. And then over here to my left is a little mini PA from Harley Benton for playing live gigs and be able to project into the room a little bit. So that's basically the rig. You can kind of see the size of it and the setup here. I'll come back and do a little playing and singing with this setup so you can kind of see how it works. And then we'll continue on with the video from Kerry addressing some of the viewer comments about this very guitar that I have here, the Hils guitar. So I'll be right back.
It's so hard to lose a friend. No, we won't see him again or continue the story of his life. We miss a smile and we miss their laugh. Just a song and it all comes back. All those memories come rushing in. So before you go to sleep tonight, send a prayer out across the sky to everyone who's feeling lost and alone. Dream, dream and float away across the miles and across the day, and remember all the love that's in your heart. Dream, dream and float away across the miles and across the day, and remember all the love that's in your heart. 'Cause there's nothing in this world I'd rather do than be here with you.
One of the comments that we received on the first video, which was the Hils headless guitar, which Kerry's holding, was a question about the vibrato system, how well it would hold up. And so we thought before we get into today's video, why don't we put the Hils through a little bit of vibrato pacing here and see how it turns out, Kerry?
All righty. And I thought of one more thing real quick. I'll do something for like 30 seconds and show you. A lot of guitars that play really good and you can bend the strings great and stuff don't necessarily make good slide guitars, and I happen to have a little slide bar here, and it seems like this one's doing a fine job. That's pretty good. A lot of guitars, you sort of need to raise the action and set them up for slide. Well, this one, you know, has no raised action. It plays great, but it has enough, I don't know, the right string tension, the right something or other, that was really fun to play slide on it. You have to have a light touch, but, you know, that's the story of slide anyway.
Well, very cool. And one other thing I thought about, one of the guys made a comment about how he was really looking for lighter guitars to play because he was standing up for gigs about 4 hours a day, a session. And so, man, this is a light guitar. We're guessing it's somewhere in that 4-poundish range. I haven't actually weighed it, but that's kind of what it feels like in our hands.
Yeah, the wonderful guy that wrote to us said, I'm 63 years old. I'm still playing. Youngster to me, by the way. And he's still playing all the time. And he gigs almost every night of the week. He says, I don't want to sit down in a chair and, look like one of them bands that the old guy is, sort of dragging the band down. I really want to stand up and play all night. And after he discovered this guitar and how good it sounds and how well it plays, and come on, it weighs half as much as what he would usually play. So even though he was also complimenting what a good guitar it is, obviously, he's not going to use a half-ass guitar at a gig, but it's a big consideration, and not just if you're an old guy. I remember being quite young, and I won't name any guitars, but, slamming around a heavy guitar all night. I actually had a bruised body from this one band I was in when I was a kid. I would be jumping up and down all night and Mr. Rockstar, and I'd come home, and there was like this big red thing from like here to here because this big 8 or 9 pound guitar was just bam, bam, bam all night,
Well, while you were jumping around, I'm guessing that you were messing with that vibrato system on the guitar. Let's see what it does here.
So people heard me gush about, I can't believe this is like a $400-ish guitar when it feels like a $1,200 guitar to me. And I got a few comments, well, the whammy's really the test. That's when you can tell if something's a cheap guitar because it has a crappy whammy. Well, this looks like a good whammy, so let's find out what it would do. It would be, now, you could use it like a Bigsby and be very subtle with it. Now, some people, like David Gilmour, for instance, used to get big old sustainy sounds and use it instead of going with his finger. He would do that too, but I think it's two different things. They just kind of sound different. Let me get something more. By the way, if y'all loose that is, this is very adjustable on this guitar. I just tighten up the thingy a little bit. See, it can sit where I want it to and not just flop down. Some people like them to flop down, but if you get a little tighter, it's right there for you. That's maybe a more subtle way to use it. And of course, there's
Right.
Am I allowed to play Sort of
Okay,
Bigger Better?
no, that's good. That's a good demo.
Okay, so anyway,
Right, cool.
I've cranked that down into the nether regions, so does it still... Hey, that is not wickedly out of tune or anything. All right, come on, that is pretty in tune. Yeah. So I'm still gonna gush that. How much is this one with the whammy?
These are in the $600 range.
Yeah, this would. This is kind of the fancy one. It has the active pickups, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So active pickups, push pull for the single coil, badass whammy. Now you can get a great Hils for like 400 with a stop tailpiece. They have like passive pickups.
Yeah.
They have like different models, which would still have the great roasted maple neck and the fine stainless steel frets and all these features you would not expect to find for under $1,000 even. But hey, I think that was a great whammy test.
Okay, guys. Yeah, well, thanks. That'll give you an idea of how the vibrato system works on there. We appreciate the comments. We'll try to address more as we go along. If that's all there is, then let's keep dancing.